All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're on the play. And this is a good hand. This is the first hand where we actually get to just like curve out. So that's pretty cool. I think I want to get the basic lands into play first. Man, basic white bordered swamp. You really don't see that too often these days. I think that I want to play the Selfless Spirit first. The Duskwatch Recruiter, obviously there's more upside if my opponent doesn't cast a spell, but I think this is going to be a matchup where Duskwatch Recruiter does some good work, and I'd rather have it live. So I want to sequence it so it's one of my like later threats if possible. And Selfless Spirit, if I play it first, can potentially play some guard duty for it. So, but like with the hand, the way this hand's shaping up is I'm going to be able to play turn 4 Collected Company, and then on turn 5, if I have my land drop, I might be able to play Duskwatch Recruiter and activate it and get some value from it, rather than just playing it at a point where it's going to die. And it's a little annoying that my opponent has to transgress for my Collected Company, but at least I have redundant copies, so. And we could play around Hallowed Moonlight, but if we played around Hallowed Moonlight, we wouldn't be playing around Languish. And it's much more likely our opponent has Languish than Hallowed Moonlight, so. You know, if he's got Hallowed Moonlight here, you know, it's just kind of like for him. Oath of Liliana. I think I'll play my Collected Company in response to that. I might not want to sacrifice my Selfless Spirit. Oh, I just took 2 damage when I only need to take 1. Yes, I'll just sacrifice my Reflector Mage instead. It's like way better. And I'm a little nervous about Languish here. If he has Languish, I'm pretty dead. Saving the land for Duskwatch Recruiter is also nice, and holding up Dromoka's command is also kind of nice because Dromoka's command can protect my Selfless Spirit from a Liliana. And my Dromoka's command is probably not going to do a whole lot in this matchup otherwise. Now, a land or another Collected Company would be really good here. Might as well sacrifice my guys and make them indestructible. Right? And that was good for us. What if our opponent has like Spatial Contortion in his deck? He's got a lot of colorless lands, and we've only seen black cards. I wonder if this is like some sort of Eldrazi deck. I mean, it could just be like Marduk control, like Chandra and Sorin. That would like kind of make sense. Have to imagine there's a fair number of Planeswalkers if our opponent's playing Oath of Liliana. And my headset just turned off. I have the volume muted for the game, And I think I need to turn it back on, at least some low level. Otherwise, I guess it's just going to shut off again. All right. And we do have volume again. And where were we? Oh, yes. This is getting exiled. And we're hoping that our Sylvan Advocate doesn't get ultimate priced. Well, don't really care about him taking a Reflector Mage, so that's kind of good for us. If we can draw a land here and make it so our Sylvan Advocate's a 4/5, put our opponent down. Ooh, we did it! Nice. And now we don't have to worry about language as much, which is really good. So actually, ooh, this is close. So we could play Dromoka's command here to give our Sylvan Advocate a +1/+1 counter, and have our opponent sacrifice his Oath, because that may potentially deny him a chump blocker, and that would mean both of our creatures are lethal. What? Oh my god. And I don't even have white mana. Oh my god. Whew, you guys. I'm losing it. I'm losing my edge. I literally did everything wrong I could do that turn, and I had like almost no decisions to make, and I just messed them all up. Jeez. Well, that was unreal. That was unreal. All I can do is nod and hope that my glasses hide the fact that I'm crying. Oh man, that was bad. And maybe our opponent just has an awful hand. Don't really want to fire off the command now, even though it would be lethal. I would just have like some better options. Secure the waste for 4. Alright. It's going to be some chump blocks for days. And I think I'm just going to play my other Duskwatch Recruiter. My opponent does play a Planeswalker. I can fire off the Dromoka's command before he gets like extra value from the Oath. But I would rather just play the Duskwatch, or activate the Duskwatch Recruiter and like get something good. Our opponent probably had to secure the wastes that turn when he didn't do anything. So this seems like a Planar Outburst or Languish. I don't really want to block with Sylvan Advocate, because then... Oh, that's annoying. And we get nothing. At least we're not drawing those cards, I guess. Oh, that's not good for us. So our opponent's at 2 with a bunch of painful lands. Drew his first non-pain source of white. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Lumbering Falls is a true goulet. And we have enough mana to activate Lumbering Falls, attack, and cast Dromoka's command. And that's going to be hard for our opponent to deal with. So this will give him 2 attackers. Or blockers, I mean, but I can actually handle this. Just gotta make sure I don't tap wrong. We will fight and have him sacrifice an enchantment. my guy has hexproof, so there's nothing you can do about it. So he has another Secure the Wastes. He can't even Secure the Waste for 1. So I'm pretty sure he's just dead. You need like Warping Whale. Warping Whale would do it. Warping Whale would be like insane. Come on, die. Yes! I love winning. Okay, so we're up against a control deck. Doesn't seem like Reflector Mage is going to do much work. So we can just take out the Reflector Mage for much better mid-rangey cards. Like another Tracker, 2 Nissas, and Jace. So normally against Language decks, I think that I would want to take out Avacyn and bring in Tamiyo. But since we saw Planar Outburst, Avacyn seems pretty good. I guess we'll just take out 2 of the Dromoka's commands and bring in 2 of the Tamiyos. That leaves us very, very light on interaction, which could be a problem. And I think it's basically a problem. But yeah, I mean, if he has something like Kalidas, we'd probably prefer Reflector Mage over Dromoka's command. I think we'd rather have the 2 Dromoka's commands. We can flash him back with Jace. So yeah, we're pretty low on interaction, but I think this is what we want. If our opponent has like a bunch of like Gisellas and stuff like that, like we're obviously going to be in trouble. This hand's not very good. But this deck, like, even though there's a lot of 2-drops, I feel like you can't really mulligan to a 2-drop because not only do you need the 2-drop, you also need the untapped mana, and getting both of those is pretty rare. So I think this hand's like keepable, but it's certainly one of the like less powerful hands to keep. And I think we want to play Evolving Wilds so that if we draw a 2-drop, we can play Yavimaya Coast 2-drop, turn 3 Fortified Village, reveal Prairie Stream, and probably just want to get a forest. Actually, I got these 2 Nissas, probably want to get a plains. Take a little damage off our mana, who cares? Obviously, it would be sweet to like hold on to our Evolving Wilds to crack it with Tireless Tracker, but I try to play things in a way where we're gonna have like the best potential to curve out. So I mean, we're still going to be able to get 1 clue off of our Tireless Tracker. So this Nissa is most certainly going to die, but it will get us a basic forest so that our Prairie Stream will come into play untapped in the future. It's kind of nice. And this is the game where if our opponent just goes Kalidas here or Gisela, we're kind of screwed. Like Gideon, at least we can kind of like attack. But This Gideon is going to be annoying, though. So the thing is like with these control decks, they usually don't have many threats in the early part of the game, so it really pays off to have a really high threat density and really low answer count. But you know, there are certainly times where it just ends up not working out. This might be one of those times. We'll see. There is also a chance that we can just snipe this Gideon with an Avacyn. But we have to dodge not only Grasp of Darkness, but Ultimate Price and Anguish Unmaking. So it kind of depends on what our opponent does. So there's a pretty good chance that we play Avacyn, it'll just die, but it's our best chance to kill this Gideon, and it's also just our best play. So, okay. Well, there goes our tracker. Might have actually been worth it for me to flash in Avacyn and then sacrifice the tracker, because that way Avacyn would see the tracker die. And then it would flip, and that would be really good. So I'll probably mess that up. Magic is just so hard. Now, if my opponent has instant speed removal here, it wouldn't have mattered either way, but I think it still would have been a smarter play. There's not any like sorcery speed removal that I'm playing around, I don't think. How is this going to work? Is this really going to work? Well, while I'm here, I might as well do this, right? Wait. Oh yeah, never mind. I'm like held in suspense. Like, don't know if this is going to work or not. Dude, what is going on? I find it pretty surprising he doesn't have... Wow, he doesn't. Oh man, it would have been such a good play if I had played the Archangel in response to the Oath. Man. Totally messed that up. Who's he going to have? Like a Westvale Abbey? Really ramping up on the tokens. Really wish I had flipped my Avacyn to get rid of all these tokens. If he goes like Planeswalker Abbey, be pretty bad for me. Just a swamp, I can handle that. Nicholas is pretty good. Killing my Avacyn is pretty good. Can't kill my Tamiyo. Wait, is he? Yeah, everything's going there. So he just does get to kill my Tamiyo, but I'm gonna be able to kill his up next to this. Wait, no, because he's gonna get a thing. I'll be able to kill the thing, I guess. Ooh, Jace is good. Okay, so we actually have some good plays here. We get to go Nissa, Jace, Dromoka's command. And that's pretty good. Nissa, Jace, Dromoka's command is pretty nice. So, let's see. I think I want to make the 4/4. And I can't really protect my Nissa. So I'm not really going to play the Sylvan Advocate to try to. I do have to worry about Planar Outburst. Got these clues to rebuild, so I'll take the risk. So by having good threat density, we've been able to slog through Omnixless and a Gideon. Although that Dromoka's command certainly came in right when we needed it. If our opponent wants to kill our Nissa, he's going to have to lose a night, which really isn't that big of a deal for him. But Nissa certainly did what we needed her to do. She got us a land, made a 4/4. She's going to soak up some damage, clear our opponent's blockers for a turn. And this Lumbering Falls clues are going to make it so that we're insulated from a sweeper. And if we get to untap with Jace, that's obviously going to be great. So I think my Jace is worth less than my Nissa. So I'm actually going to block. Like, Jace is just going to, like, filter some cards and, like, give things -2, -0. Like, I can flash back the Dromoka's command. But that's, like, not that good compared to just Nissa ticking up endlessly. Oh, well. Alright, then. So that's just going to be able to kill my Nissa. That's annoying. So here I can play Sylvan Advocate, attack with my Lumbering Falls, and essentially trade my Duskwatch Recruiter for his Sorin, and he has 2 cards left. I think that's probably worth it. Yeah, I think that's the move I gotta make. And if my opponent's main way of doing battle is just with Planeswalkers, you know, I should be able to slog through most of it. Just by playing like a lot of creatures and just kind of attacking them down. I mean, that Sorin was basically just a 1-for-1. It killed my Nissa, but then I killed it for free in terms of card advantage. So it's like the important thing in this situation. And my opponent gets to gas back up with Read the Bones, but gas back up with Collected Company is like a lot better than Read the Bones. I mean, like Read the Bones is just a common. Collected Companies are rare, LOL. This isn't even difficult to figure out. So we've got a few options here. We can actually attack with Lumbering Falls and have Collected Company mana open. So I'm going to go for that. We've still got these clues on layaway. If our opponent has an Avacyn, he'll be able to eat one thing. It's like not even that good. So I think we just attack. And our opponent doesn't have Avacyn. Perfect. Yes, I would love to kill your Shambling Vent. This is a pretty interesting game so far. I feel pretty confident from this position. We have a board presence. We have like good ways to reload. That's obviously annoying. Another Track and Advocate would have been awesome there. We do have enough mana to activate Lumbering Falls and Duskwatch Recruiter. So that's pretty decent. So Lumbering Falls is doing work. It's a good land to draw and play early. And we only have one Dromoka's Command left in our deck, so if our opponent can deploy a big threat, it's going to be a little tricky. If he has something like Emrakul, we're probably just in bad shape. But Dromoka's Command is not going to help us against that, and Reflector Mage isn't really that good against it either. Although it certainly does something. That's great. So now we have a little bit of security against not only a sweeper, but a Avacyn as well. Tapped out. Secure the waste for 7 is pretty big. Kind of a big deal. Yeah, that's annoying. I think that we're just going to play this anyway, though. And attack. This buys our opponent like a ton of time, but if we can find another Avacyn or Nissa or Tireless Tracker, like all of those things would be good. Dude, also, you know what's insane? I've had these 2 clues out forever, and I've used my mana every single turn. I haven't even had time to crack them. Kind of unreal. And here I think my opponent kind of has to just chump block, because otherwise he just trades like a ton of his tokens for just my Selfless Spirit. And if he does anything that I can Spell Queller, I'm definitely going to Spell Queller it, but I'm not going to like hold the mana open and not use Duskwatch Recruiter. Duskwatch Recruiter is just like great card advantage. And this obviously seems like a bait, but I think I'll take it. Well, could also just activate him. So if he has another Grasp of Darkness, that's where it would be a problem. Because then he'd be able to kill my Spell Queller and Duskwatch Recruiter without me getting a Duskwatch Recruiter activation. Considering I have like the clues for redraws, I think I'll just do this. It seems a little bit like a bait, but you know, I'm gonna do it anyway. Like I have the Selfless Spirit to protect me from some stuff, and this means that I have 4 power of flyers to potentially pressure the Gideon, which is also really nice. If he has something like Languish here, that would be really bad. Okay, so he does have Anguish Unmaking. So now he's going to be able to kill my Duskwatch Recruiter without me getting any more value off of it. So he baited me in. I took the bait. Good on him, but still got the clues. Are you going to attack me now? I suppose it's a race you can probably win. Well, that's comical. Really want like an Avacyn. Oh, I didn't attack with the Spirit. Jeez, what am I doing? I'm losing it tonight. Totally losing it. These are mistakes I'd never make in Paper Magic. Also, I don't have to like narrate everything that I'm doing in Paper Magic. I think I used both my Nissas, right? Yeah, both my Nissas are in my graveyard. So, an Avacyn or a Tamiyo or a Jace, those would all be great. Dromoka's command would actually be really good too, because I'd be able to get my Sylvan Advocate up to 6 toughness, so I could block this Gideon. I do kind of have to worry about it just killing me. Be a lot nicer if that Gideon was at 3 loyalty. I mean, it's basically at a point where I'm almost never going to kill it with Selfless Spirit, so. If I can top deck an Avacyn, that would be really good, but I also have to worry about my opponent using... Oh, that's going to be bad. That's a problem. I have no way to deal with that in my deck. Guess I'll get another Selfless Spirit. Essentially like fog it. I probably need to activate this at least 1 more time. Maybe 2 more times. Man, where are my Avacyns? Alright, well. And I guess I'll just do it again. LOL. So I don't think that I actually want to play or do any attacking. If I attack with the one Selfless Spirit, I guess I can attack with the one Selfless Spirit. Alright, I hit F2 and clicked OK. And nothing's happening. So to the client crash, my clock's ticking down. See if our opponent sacks his Abbey here. And he does. And we will sacrifice this. And say go. So if he attacks with Ormondal, then we can just sack a spirit. If our opponent languishes and attacks, then we're going to be in trouble. That does nothing. But if our opponent attacks with Ormondal, we can potentially win with the crackback. I have to imagine my opponent has languished in his deck though, but he just like hasn't drawn one, which is kind of crazy. Oh, let's see. Oh, I guess we'll start with this song and dance again. I have like no time on my clock, which makes it tough. Sure, I'll take a tracker. Dude, this Avacyn is like literally the bottom card of my library. There we go. So that can potentially deal 3 damage to his face. 4, 5. So I think we can actually kill the Gideon here if we lose one of our spirits. I think that's worth it. And he'll have the option to attack back. Oh, actually, this won't actually work very well. Shoot, because when it flips, I'll lose my other Selfless Spirit. Well, yeah, I guess that's fine. I'm like pretty ahead on resources, low on the clock. I think I need to play this in a way that's going to close the game out a little more quickly. So I want this to transform. And now he's got to turn to top deck to try to start rebuilding his board. And then I should be able to deploy just like a bunch of stuff, including Jace. And then, let's see, Dromoka's command only fights target creature you don't control. It's annoying. I think I can deal like 15 damage. Just need my opponent to not do anything for like a turn. Well, that's going to be a problem. That can kill my Avacyn. Ugh. Languish. I can kill some stuff. I do have the Spell Queller for it, and the Selfless Spirit to protect it. So it's kind of a big deal. So depending on what my opponent's got, this could be a good turn for me. We'll see. Pretty intense game though, that's for sure. And I'd said without Reflector Mage, there's probably no way I can beat Ormondal, but might be able to do it. If my opponent doesn't have like a powerful play this turn, it's gonna be in. It's kind of gonna be just Dobbs. All right, so he's going for the reveal. Shambling Bant. Okay, so my Languish. I will counter you. The last card in my hand. Can this be it? I don't even know if I have any lands left in my deck. Oh, apparently I do. Oh, Tamiyo would be such a good draw. It's not Tamiyo. There we go. Homegirl in the house. Wow, so sick. And we're even going to be able to... Actually, we can't play Fortified Village to attack with our Lumbering Falls. But it's still okay, I think. Whoa, so sick. What a crazy game. Love it. All right, on to the next one.